address each one of you by name. But there is one name which suits all of us, Raakhee's admirers. So we're all in the same group. You'll all get up when we say Raakhee's admirers. It is just providential that I happen to be in New York and I happen to be invited to be here. Having lost my wife 3 months ago, I came to New York to spend some time with my son, Sri, and my grandchildren. I had no other agenda, but there it is. I seem to be doing things which I always do, releasing books, talking about books, and doing shows and various other things. But I'm proud to be here because I am an Indian. And Kalpana's home is India. And she is symbolic of the rise of the Indian community in the United States.
Yes.
And it happened even before India and the United States became friends. Many of you may know that we have an indifferent relationship during the Cold War. And 1997 was a particularly important year when President Clinton decided to make a visit to India. What he called the gap in his life. He had to visit India. And then the Prime Minister asked me to go to Washington specifically to arrange for President Clinton's visit. And I came to the embassy. Unfortunately, the visit did not take place because India exploded an atom bomb. That was the worst time in the history of India-US relations, but we will not go into that. But that happened to be also the year when Kalpana Chawla was designated to fly on the shuttle. And I had just arrived in Washington. And one of the first events I was asked to attend was the launching of Kalpana Chawla from Miami. So my science assistant and I went to Florida, hoping to see her. We had an appointment, but the flight came too late. And by the time we arrived at the space station, she was already in the capsule. Mm-hmm. So the only way we could speak to her was on the phone from the NASA administrator's office. And we had a delightful conversation. She told me particularly that I value your presence here because I am from India. I'm an American today. But there is something about me which is truly Indian. And that is what has brought me to this position. And I wished her well. And fortunately, that trip was very successful. So the triumph and tragedy of Kalpana Chawla, we always remember. How from a little village in Punjab, she spread her wings and came all the way to the United States and accomplished something that she had dreamt of for years. It is later that India-United States relations got much better, and today there are many Indian Americans in very high places in the United States. Not to forget even the Vice President of the United States. So it's a very, very delightful occasion to remember Kalpana Chawla. And the few minutes that I had here, I went through the book. And if there is ever any book to be called under the series, She Persisted, that is Kalpana Chawla. The way she persisted. You know, the parents tried to, discourage her. The friends tried to discourage her. Even after coming here, everybody told her that this is not the job that you should be doing. But she persisted, and that is exactly the description of Kalpana Chawla. It is sad that she left us much before her prime. But we in India remember her with pride, just as you here remember her with pride. And therefore it's a bridge that we can all celebrate, and I'm so happy that I'm here to say these few words to you and to wish you all the very best, Raakhee, for this book.
Thank you so much.